Hi everyone, today is 17th of March 2025. So what I will be, first of all, just start off with an introduction before I go on to my next topic that's on my heart this morning. But just keep in mind, we're dealing with natural justice and natural law. That is because I'm actually the original in my case historically, but they have used other people to animate or inanimate me. This is where the relationship scam takes place historically. It is definitely illegal. Just one moment. Okay, I actually like to refer to the law just so I keep everything concise and in line with the law so you guys can understand where I'm coming from. Okay, so I'm actually the original of my own personal testimony and versus against all the middleman system and the substitutes used. Okay, so keep in mind we're versing justice law, natural law. What was the post we were looking at? And versus myself being animated or inanimated. Okay, so this is the actual illegal scientific experiment and project that I've been subject to historically, and now I'm in a position where I'm actually able to challenge the opposing allies historically. So what you'll be getting from me is hardcore evidence and my facts, my life, my personal journey, me actually talking about it verbally or orally, so it's actually me just bringing my facts to life, okay, in relation to my court case. So this here, I just like to just refer to the laws as I talk, just so everyone's on the same boat, and also to help others protect themselves as an individual. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether the generation changes, which it does, but the laws is what everyone has to abide to, whether you are working in the government or whether you are a public member. A lot of people are oblivious of the laws, but it's actually the laws that everybody is accountable at the end of the day. So we're dealing with motive and intent, law and order, and criminal activities, conspiracy tactics, criminal cybercrime, and defamation. Okay, so they have changed the legislation to accommodate for this global illegal sport. It's commonwealth, so I guess it's only fair that innocent civilians all have a chance to protect themselves just by knowing about this game. I believe it's been going around for a very long time and it just happened to be my turn. So we're dealing with direct and indirect criminal offences, the kind of crimes that it's easy to do without the victims even realising they're subject to serious violent offences. Alright, let's just go find my... before I get back into... Okay. So I'm just going to go through all this. I'll come to that so I can save you. So we don't need that one now. This here was on the paper. Well, I don't know how long it's been on the paper. I wasn't actually looking at the date, but I found it yesterday. Okay, and this is Natalie and her fake Henry, impostor Henry. Let's just have a look. So I'm denouncing this because I showed it to Henry today, and he supports me because I'm trying not to be to get angry, but it personally makes me angry. It personally makes me angry that these two fraudsters are living and pretending and deceiving, the globally about Henry. That is not him, guys. Okay, so I'm telling you, and I swear it, that is not Henry Cavill. And plus, this guy's actually put on a lot of weight. Henry's been sick in the hospital for about 11 months on and off, because he's had like 3 major operations, and he's lost a lot of weight, and that's not him. Okay, but these people are linked to the government globally. Okay, so that's why it's important for me to denounce all this, because my case is not just inside New Zealand. It's been global, and that goes back to when I was working for my employer and when I was going to church. So that's how serious my case is. So this here was in the paper yesterday, and I was like, I said to him, this personally makes me angry because it's public deception. And they do it too because they want to sabotage my plans or anything. Okay, so whatever happens later on, I believe justice will be served, but I denounce her. Natalie is evil. With everything that I know personally, she's a gold digger. What she's done to him personally is a disgrace. Okay, but these two are linked to the government. Okay, and that's the truth. But I am denouncing everything these two are doing. You can just tell the messages. They've used me. Everyone has used me against my will. But this is the game. This is the sport. This is the global sport that is absolutely illegal. So globally, okay, we're dealing with a global, indirect, premeditated, advanced conspiracy to commit a crime, meaning it's already taken place. It was already planned well in advance. The whole idea is to steal, but it is like to steal by thief, by deception, it's fraud. Okay, so it is a conspiracy, but this is the New Age conspiracy, and this is the New Age system, and it doesn't matter whether you work for the government or whoever. Everybody is made accountable for any serious wrongdoing, because it's not the kind of sport that that is actually allowed to be done on any human. Okay, so what I have found, I've just put a few things together. This here actually describes how I've been used. Okay, how Henry. I don't believe we are the first people they've done it to. I believe they've done it to other people, but what we are they are keeping tabs on us. It is a global game. So, and the radio is in the, it's the commentators on the radio are all in on the game, tipping everybody off. And so that is what the tarot readers are doing. So I'm keeping my in the moment evidence in the moment. I believe that they've used me because they've known that everything I do is money. They know I'm actually intellectually bright, because I am, okay, and I've worked hard for everything that I've earned. Like, I'm talking about my gifts and everything else. So that is what I've been used for. I've been used for relationship scams with the intention to steal somebody else's energy. And I'm dealing with people who wouldn't in any other way get their foot in the door unless they're able to do what I'm doing. Okay. The problem that I also found in the system, what I've gone through, is that they've used my mobile. Okay. I have to describe where, how easy it is for them to get away with really serious conspiracy. But the mobiles, they are in the moment doing this to me. So they're locked down into everything I'm doing like this. And then they, so there's probably several parties. They're watching everything I'm doing. And then they're interfering or tipping off other people, and then they're deleting evidence. So the mobiles, I don't know how the government, how do they find out, all the people's phone calls, because the gangs, they use I've had a lot of people ring me, and I've known that they've been fraud, or they're saying that they are such and such for the government, and I've known they've not, or just the things they're saying to me is like, that's not even true. Like, they're lying on the phone. Whereas the old phone here, everything is trackable, and I don't know how secure the mobiles are, but gangs are using, they're using fake phones all the time, fake people. I've come across imposters pretending to be Henry. So they're hacking into everything, but everything is linked to the government, to whatever Henry is worth, and to whatever Mina Crichton is worth. And I know I'm worth a lot of money, and I know Henry is too. So that's why I'm denouncing what I'm doing. But I am glued. Like, these people have pinned me down like this. So it's not necessarily anyone in New Zealand. It's probably somebody overseas. But this is the illegal commonwealth. You can even listen on the radio. Like, they are like, instead of talking about the names of the victim or whatever, they're actually representing, like, talking about their country. Like, they're really cunning about it, so then they don't get caught. That's the whole idea of this commonwealth game, that those that are actually trying to steal or win whatever it is, they, instead of using their victims' names or the participants' name, they're actually using their country. Okay, and that's how they're dealing with. So it means their whole country are ganging up on the originals. That is unfair. That is unfair. It's a disgrace to your religion. It's a disgrace to your culture. And I'm going to challenge you all, because I know I've already won. I've got God on my side. I'll do my bit and he does his bit. But I feel that they've personally attacked me because I am a Christian. And I know that when I started for the government, I was a Christian, and other religions and cultures have seen the opportunity to take over innocent civilians, and that's what the evidence proved, and that's how I see it. So this here was actually on the paper or on the social media. Henry is not actively involved in anything with any PR. He is not in any contact with anyone. He's not on social media. He's fighting for his life and for privacy. And he's not actively anywhere. He hasn't even consented to any PR or anything to do with his work in the celebrity life. Everybody is just doing their own thing. And I did ask him, why do they have this? Why do the celebrity have this? And why do rich people do that? But it's because some of them do it to keep the public, thinking that they're doing all this, but they're actually, they're actually not doing it. Like they're actually somewhere else, but they can. If that is the culture, that may be the culture in Hollywood, but you still have to have the consent, according to the law, you still have to have the consent of the original, okay? And I know Henry is pissed off about it, and then I find it very concerning that some tarot readers are, talking like him and Natalie are together. He doesn't even contact Natalie, and that's just pure evil from my point of view and unacceptable. Okay, right, back to Amy Denton. Before she changed her name, okay, I suggest you guys listen to this one here. Like I've listened to this lady. She's a tarot reader, and I actually agree to everything she is saying. I have a reason to believe that Amy Denton has a sick obsession over Henry. She is supported by a hate alliance that hates Henry, and that so is Natalie. They hate him, okay? They hate me. Why? I don't know, but it's to do with money. Money and fame, change people. That's what it is, just greed for money and fame. But this, I suggest you guys go onto her YouTube channel, and I actually agree with this lady, with everything she's talking about, Amy Denton. Now, the other part of the deception there, even though they are using, like on the surface, they're using a different person, but then they've got another person to actually do the switch, or maybe another person to do a switch. Okay, this is so serious, because those that will get caught up in it are innocent civilians who are straightforward like myself, and they don't, it's so easy to be deceived. These people are lying. They're ringing on our phones and they're lying, okay, and they're pretending to be somebody else. There have been times I've had phone calls representing these women. They even say their names. So that's serious, but I suggest you guys read this. But Henry doesn't know her. Okay. He said to me, he's still sweet. He doesn't even know this female, but if you see that picture there in the beginning, okay, apparently, I think she's the real Amy Denton. Okay. This lady is actually exposing this Amy Denton. But what I'm trying to say is, that the other Amy Denton I'm talking about that looks like a little girl, okay, I said to her, maybe somebody else is paying her or using her, because they operate through other human beings. I hope you'll get what I'm trying to tell you all, okay? But they are controlled. This is witches and warlocks operating through other human beings. Okay, this is really, it's really dangerous. It is scary, but it's more scary if you get caught up in such trafficking ring and you don't know what to do, because they just lie before you know it. You've lost everything, or you've been lured into a murder trap. That is so serious. I'm not joking. So I suggest you guys read this. All right. This female, she's loving it. She just wants the fame and the money, but she's breaking the law, and whoever is supporting her is a hate alliance and a conspiracy. But I did say to Henry, maybe it's one of your exes operating through her, and that is very possible. But can you see the deception and even the sick mind behind it? If you... Yeah, it just really makes me angry. But this is what happens when you are trapped. We don't know who we're talking to. And some people are very sick mentally. Some people Like, this sport is very addictive. They're just like, they're feeding off other people's energy. They're watching the originals suffer. They're watching the originals fighting for their life. You know, they're watching everything they do being sabotaged, and they think it's funny, and they just keep on sabotaging. The whole idea is to stop something from happening, or to lure somebody to someone else, but it's all to do with money and fame. So do read this female. I believe she's quite honest, and I agree with what she says. But this video clip talks about the real Amy Denton. She's changed her name to Dragon whatever it is. Let's see if I can find it. But she is my competitor. Like what I'm saying, she's like in the same alliance with Moana and Natalie and Chai, the Asian female, and who else was the other one? Just let me have a look. Yeah, Moana, yeah, these are the names, Echo, they're all in the same alliance. Do you know how dangerous that is? And how cowardice that is? They've literally stolen my life, historically. I'm still fighting for my life, and what makes me even more sick is listening to their ridicule, to their jokes, sarcastic jokes on the radio, and they know very well every single thing I am saying is true, but they're mocking and making a joke out of it. You have to be absolutely have a warped mindset to actually enjoy this kind of a sport. I know when they're talking about me, but that can all be used against them in criminal. But it is a global game, so I'm denouncing all that. So unfortunately, when people have secrets and when someone cheats, you know, what I've gone through historically happens, but it puts, you know, it puts victims' lives in danger. And I've actually watched some relationships, you know, where it's ended up very sad, but I believe it's because of what I've gone through, okay? And I can also confirm Henry's not in any secret relationship with anyone, like, you know, but what I'm saying is that negative alliance is still glued to me today. They are sabotaging everything I'm doing. So definitely every corporate body involving will be investigated according to the laws, and after the fact, like even if I don't make it or anything like that, all my bank accounts will be investigated, because I've actually put that in court, that all my bank accounts, you know, they have access to it. That's what I wrote in one of my, I think it was in the protected disclosure, that I didn't know who these people were, but they had access all my bank accounts, and then everything else to do with me, but they access everything. So what happens after that happens, somebody else is trying to control, manipulate me like some kind of object, okay, or they're blocking or they're stopping something, but they are coding, and then their people are doing it for them. But they will be charged 10 years imprisonment, because I've like legally or legit applications, even, you know, to my banks that I know I'm entitled to, but they've declined it. And they're tagging by wording or culture, and that's how they're actually winning, is because everything's done in advance, and because it's globally, they just need to tip people off globally, and then their people do their bit and be in your space and sabotage, and that's what's happened to me. That's what's involving in this game. It's absolutely illegal. So they basically have studied me for years, okay? And then they've actually made me eat my word. The abuse that they have done to me is so serious. Like anything positive, they whoever they use, they're creating evidence in the moment, and they're recording. They're trying to turn it on a family violence when it's not family violence. Okay. Or anything good, they'll make me eat my word. That's how personal it is. Okay, so there is clear evidence that they have used me for a pecuniary advantage and relationship scams. So historically, all the corporate bodies can be charged for participating in organised crime and for trafficking rings. It's a global sport, and people are being coded, but they are selecting their victims, and then they are doing what they're doing to me. And this is what it looks like. I mean, gee, I could be rich too if I had full access doing what these people are doing, and then they just text each other globally, and then they, and then they end up getting away with very serious conspiracy crimes. But it is a sport. I believe that my family and the hub desks and the call centres are being used as a protection of those that are behind the scam without getting caught, and they don't want to be charged anything, but they are carrying out somebody's plan and plots, or whatever you want to call it, and they're using the call centre and your family within your environment against you. But it is a global sport, and it is definitely illegal. Okay, so they are serial killers coding their victims, and everybody within your space, one of them is committing, is a spy in the public arena, whatever it may be. And unfortunately, that's a danger for going to church. Okay. Well, it's not only just church, even just going shopping. After they study you, they just need to just watch everything you do. Okay, guys, if you go on my other video clips, I've gone through all the laws. It is a global game. Okay, so meaning other global government agencies are in on the game. Okay, so that's the whole danger of it. But the laws that apply to me are the laws that apply in New Zealand. Okay, so most countries should have the laws that we have. It's just that people don't know how to use it. And if you know the laws, then you wouldn't be breaking the laws, would you? But people are made accountable, even those in government. So that's why we have laws. So we have balance, and then the public welfare is safe, but it's not safe. Okay. The other thing I found, trading in influence is a crime that has a penalty of 7 years. So if they are like sharing information, and if judges, for example, are making decisions because somebody has influenced them and not based on the evidence in the law, that's trading in influence. That goes for the court deputy registrar. Your role is not to, their role is not to, be on the side of the defendants, because the victim's rights come first. I haven't broken any laws, by the way, you guys. So go on my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and just have a look on these videos on me and Henry's testimony, but it is also they are like, my relationship is an exhibit to in the courts. Like, I've submitted our relationship as a evidence of what we've gone through. But unfortunately, my case now is crimes against humanity. So individual or body corporate, everyone involved may be made accountable. That's actually life imprisonment. It's a definitely 100% crimes against humanity case. There's a lot of serious indictable charges or offences. This New Age system, they're actually watering down the crimes. That's where this whole middleman thing comes in. Okay, it's so serious, but that is what I have found. Definitely suicidal pact, but there's a lot of criminal pact involved. That is 14 years imprisonment. And the people, the secret societies, they are definitely, they call themselves shadow people. Their motive and intent is to sabotage, like Star Wars, and they are on the side of the people that is glued or is animated to steal your life. That is what it is. So they are called the Den of Thieves, and they have stolen my life. Everything's a setup. It means no laws, and the people that is monitoring us are usually on behalf of whoever they're representing globally behind the scene. So it could be somebody hierarchy, could be anybody globally, which makes it more dangerous. But the victims that are trapped, their whole environment is contaminated. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I've been used like a money tree, so everything I apply and everything, they're stealing it. Okay. And that's pretty serious. I didn't know anything more serious. Okay. But the motive and intent after the fact is already proven according to the laws in my case. Also, I don't think people realizes, but some cultural beliefs are quite savagery, meaning they mean business. If they can get away with murdering somebody without getting caught, they will do it. And I believe that is what the system is allowing. Very, very serious murders take place, or it will either make you commit suicide, or or they wait for somebody to kill you, because when it's global, everybody on the opposition is like, because this is what the actual global game involves. They're just waiting for someone to murder you, or they pay somebody to do a hit. Okay, so it's very serious. No one should be locked into your soul. Okay, and they have. So it's a very clear case of home invasion. So they have used me for a generator. It's making my criminal case happen. So for those that are doing this game, you may think you have the advantage, but with what you've done, there is definitely hardcore evidence. If you are involved, you will go to prison, okay? Because that is the advantage, I guess, when you are intimately glued to somebody's soul like you've done to me, is that everything I say is true and nothing but the truth. So your evidence, your made-up evidence on the surface is fraud, okay? Because there's nothing in the legislation that actually allows that. But it's definitely a international scam. So we're talking about motive and intent and body, corporate and individual, directly or indirectly. So if you're declining my applications for no reason at all, you will be along that your corporate body will be joining the others, because that's how conspiracy works. So this is the New Age conspiracy. So if you guys don't know what a conspiracy is, everything I've gone through is a conspiracy, okay? I have found people that have used me and intentionally have done what they've done. They've used my religion. Okay, I'm a Christian. Okay, and I believe that they've used my religion as an excuse, and to do what they've done, thinking that they will get away with it. But if things were different, like if I knew what I'm going through now, if I knew all the things that I'm going through now back then, I'd probably go social media, but I just couldn't, because I worked for the government for 17 and a half years. I'm one of these people who minded my own business and just focused on my family and my private life, basically just walking around minding my own business. So now I'm taking advantage of what I know and what I know I'm entitled to do, and I'll leave the rest up to God. But the case is definitely a demolition of a human being. They're trying to kill me for money, or trying to kill Henry for money. Okay, so that's the whole idea of this trafficking in persons case of the originals. Okay. And why the whole setup of the government is a sport, but it's absolutely illegal, and it's 20 years imprisonment or additional. For those that don't know, trafficking in people by means of coercion or deception, that is like even the members of the company and the CEO, you will all be charged individually. That's the thing. That's what happens with a conspiracy. Everybody will be charged individually. So you'll either go to prison and fined, or both. Okay. So for those that don't know, in the criminal jurisdiction, it's called reparation for victims. So a lot of people have sabotaged me because I felt that they were just stealing my intellectual property. And everything that I've put in court has been real, but the courts have actually sabotaged it. So I believe that the courts will be charged for sabotaging too. The Ministry of Justice will definitely be charged for what they've done to me. Okay, a lot of people, a lot of people have accused me of so many things that why I'm not acceptable. What's happened is that when it's a global game and people are fault finding, I mean that, people's religion doesn't even come in on it, but this is what they've done to me. They've dug up my past and just concentrate on my flaws, and then they steal. Okay, so it's like they're punishing me, or they're tormenting me, or persecuting me personally. Okay. So I've been, they haven't liked me for so many different things, and that's what I've been, they defame my character with these substitutes, because that's what these substitutes or imposters are used for. They are actually used to deceive the public, to make out that they're actually the better person. Yeah, whatever. But they're not. They're actually causing deception. They're lying. They're stealing without anything to do with their own hard work. It's all about money and all about fame. So I got this verse out because I am a Christian, and I'm going to try and keep my what I'm going through, my personal journey, and aligned with the Bible, because I believe this is what I'm supposed to be doing with all my research that I've gone through. But God actually looks at the heart. Okay, everyone. If you say you're a Christian, you need to actually study it for yourself before you can judge anybody else's different set of circumstances. But God actually looks at the heart, the motive and intent, and this here is what I have found the most outstanding, because the Bible is actually a spiritual, real life, like it's sacred. Okay, it is very, very, very sacred, and I believe in it. I just, words can't really express what it actually means to me, my personal journey with God. Okay, you don't have to agree with me, but whatever people, you can take what you want for yourself. But I have personally gone through a real personal journey that doesn't belong to me, but it is mine. What I mean by that, my testimony actually belongs to God, to Jesus. Okay, so it is biblical that I expose the system, because I believe that is what God has led me to do. It's a kind of system. It does a personal attack on Christians, on Christians' belief, okay, and it goes against God's will, okay, and so I'm talking about spiritually, but this verse here, I think you all need to research what actually abomination means, because it means a lot of things, and lying is an abomination to God, clearly says that. So, there's no human perfect, none at all. Okay, and there's so much depths, like spiritual depths, that I have found personally myself with what I've gone through, and I feel I've paid the price for my gifts, and then I know I'm supposed to be doing that more and more. So I just suggest that you research the words, research what the Bible actually means. Some people just want to use it to save their marriage or an excuse to keep their partner, and stuff like that. And, yes, it's all part of, having a happy family and all the rest of it. But then there are other things that, God does not like, and things like lying, even participating in what I've gone through. You shouldn't even be endangering your family, especially for example, because it's a global game. Okay, I have actually watched innocent civilians disappear one by one, okay, because of what they've done to me. Not because I've done anything, it's the conspiracy of whoever is behind the secret society, just by using the misuse of devices, indirect crimes. So what they've done to me is they've used me as an original and then a duplicate. So when I actually go out, these women that are trying to get their foot in the door, whatever it is, and it's been global too, guys. So, people are flying overseas to come here to do what they're doing, and, to try and steal and switch and steal. I have been used for the men. And then they are on the social media, have tagged me with the most grossest words in the world. That's why my case is definitely crimes against humanity. But it is animated or inanimated, and then they're inciting the game, but it's done cleverly, where they're not actually talking about the original, but they are talking about them, but they've coded the originals and the participants on their side. So basically they're inciting to mutiny or whatever it is, or to help to sabotage. But it's cleverly designed where innocent victims are suppressed and held hostage or trapped while they're being used for money laundering purposes and global sport games. But they have used me for foot in the door. The best way I can describe it is because we just have the call centers or the emails, and we apply, and then we were dealing with agencies. Okay, we don't even know who these agencies, but I know I'm speaking to the enemy. But you just, what else can I do? What else can we do? But just go with it. But I have discovered that I'm actually talking to the people that is on the negative alliance against myself. So, and it's global. That is serious, right? Their intent is to switch, set up the men with another woman. Okay, it's global. Okay, so the game is really serious. It's very life-threatening, and they are globally inciting on social media. Okay, so everyone original, I'm talking about my family, the original, or anyone original, or anyone who tries to help me, are all in danger. Okay, because it's global, guys. Okay, it's all about money and taking over. And that's where I will end this. But I am denouncing all these relationships. But it's been quite freaky for me. I've gone out just to do my normal everyday activity or whatever it is, and they're in my space. They just seem to know when I come out. That it shouldn't even be like that, but it is. So this here is what the global game takes place. Once they study the originals, I mean, they're just going on a killing and a free money, shopping spree. That is what they've done in my environment. That's what they've done in my personal space. And it's actually not really safe for me to actually go out. I know in time I will break all that and go back out. I am slowly, to be totally honest. It's just at the moment I have to be very selective because it hasn't been safe because of everything I'm going through globally. But this is what they're actually doing globally. Okay, government. So you guys need to wake up and do something about protecting innocent civilians in New Zealand and even those in government. But this is what they're doing. So anyone doing that in our government, you are actually committing treason. Okay? So everyone in the past who is alive involving in this game, you can still be charged all those charges according to the laws. Okay? But treason is 14 years imprisonment. So I just recommend you watch all the other clips. Okay, so it's likely all this is taking place for Christians. The church I went to was a Holy Spirit-led Christian. So Christians are, the leaders are secretly being attacked. So what they do is once they invade your family's private life, they want to take out your leaders, your men. They want to take out your strong women or the women or the men that is strong, but they're doing it the wrong way. Okay, so but it's global, so everyone is more in danger now than ever before. And they are moving through relationship scams and animating. So if you're a godly couple, just be aware, because there's a good chance that you both are being animated or inanimated secretly globally, and people are studying you and your family. Just keep in the moment with the evidence and just listen to listen to those that are telling the truth. Like, what I'm trying to say is that unfortunately the system, there's a lot of deception, and it's really hard these days to actually realize who's actually telling the truth and who's not part of this new age system that I've been subject to. But yeah, I hope you'll get the idea, so you can all protect yourself as an individual, as your family, and your businesses. Before I finish, I think what you guys need to actually learn or know is actually your Bill of Rights. Okay, so if people try and force you to do something, you can actually say no, and you want to exercise your Bill of Rights. And then you don't have to do what they want you to do. I'm talking about the doctors. If they make suggestions or something and you don't agree, you just exercise your Bill of Rights and say no. But that's what our Bill of Rights actually protects us as an individual. It also protects the liberty of a person. So they've broken all that with me, making it a criminal case. Okay. So basically it's just exercising your Bill of Rights. If they want to do things and you don't agree or you don't want to, you just say no, I don't consent to it, and then that's the end of that. Okay, so as an individual, you have the right to say yes or no, and then that's it. So it is a left behind case, and quite obviously the consequences of privacy breach, they will keep on personally attacking you, and that's what they've done to me.